In today's video, I'm going to be giving you the 6 fundamentals to smashing email outreach so that you can book more calls, land more clients, and collect more cash. Okay, now I'm going to dive straight into this Miro board. And let's start with, these are the fundamentals that basically allowed me to close clients like Sebastian Giorgio, Sebastian Esqueda, Sumner and Ali, Honest FBA. But it's also the fundamentals that allow my copywriting coaching clients to book calls all week, right? They're booking calls all the time, and they don't have to send a bunch of outreach to get these calls booked. So we're going to go over these fundamentals because these are what allow me to make 10 to 25K a month, depending on how much work I want to take on. And that's the beauty of copywriting as well, because my baby girl was born this month, and so I wanted to work less, and so I will work less. I've got more time, bunch of cash in the bank, investment still growing, and that's the beauty of this, right? You get to control this system. And so let's dive straight in to, how we can make you those 10K months and the 6 fundamentals that you actually need to be able to write a winning outreach. All right. Now, the first is a creative. And this creative, it needs to be creative. It doesn't want to be the same bullshit template that you're seeing in a low level community. You need to use your brain. Okay. It needs to be relevant to the niche. It needs to be relevant to the person. It needs to have actual context. And I'm going to go over some examples here, but it needs to be personalized, because if you can send the same creative to every single person, then it doesn't make sense, right? It needs to actually stand out, it needs to grab attention, and it needs to be relevant. And I'll give you some great examples. Okay, now this was one that I made for basically traders. Now, as you can see, it's on a trading chart, so it's relevant to them, they understand it. And I would also add a picture of the person on this as well in some way, right? It was actually them looking at this was on a laptop screen, and it was them looking at it like, like basically you just want to get really creative with it. Here was one that my friend used where he would put the guru's face that he was sending the email to on the this person laying in bed, being like, snapshot of person's customers after they enter his funnel. Super creative, always going to grab their attention. Here's just an example of me. Like, I would put the prospect's face on a dollar bill, $100 bill, and be like, look, we're leaving cash on the table. Luckily your face was on it, so I could give it back to you. Like, it's just a creative angle. This was a prospect on a label and labeling magazine, which is an actual magazine, but it was within the labeling industry when I was doing a bunch of work for a client called Express Labels, right? So all of these creatives, they need to be relevant, they need to be personalized, they need to actually capture the attention. And this is like the first thing to a winning outreach, because if you don't grab their attention straight away, then they're not going to read the rest of it. So even if you have got great free value, even if you have got a great email, it doesn't matter if you don't do this bit right first. So use these examples and go get creative, go break the rules. Don't be afraid to stand out. Don't be afraid to actually take a risk and be the only person doing that thing, because that's what's going to actually get you the results. I've written some crazy outreach emails that have landed me deals while everyone else is too scared and they're sticking to the same rigid template. So don't be afraid to step outside the box. All right. The next thing is value. All right. So when you're turning up in someone's inbox, and you're just assuming that they already know who you are, they already know your accolades, they already know how credible you are, like, that's a big risk. You want to turn up and make it undeniable, whether that's just with upfront value on a Loom, doing an audit, showing them something that's going wrong and how you can fix it, whether that's a personalized doc about their business and a strategy. You need actual value, and not just value like, oh, free value. Like, no, it needs to be something they can use. It needs to complement their business. It needs to, basically showcase what it's like to work with you, because this copy you write is going to be the most important copy you ever write, because it's the one that's selling you. It's the one that's basically working for you, whether you're awake, asleep, sick, ill, poorly, whatever, right? So make sure you're putting a good focus on this value, actually helping someone's business. The next is credibility. How are you attaching social proof? How are you showing that you basically walk the walk and don't just talk the talk? Obviously, testimonials is the best way to do this, but you can add credibility and social proof without having testimonials. Okay, you need to get creative here. Too many copywriters are hiding behind the excuse of, oh, I don't have testimonials. I'll tell you what, I made my first 100K online without ever getting asked for a testimonial. So if you're stuck there with this mindset of, oh, I'll get clients once I have a testimonial, then you're going to stay stuck chasing your tail for forever, right? Get creative, show your proof, show how you're going to help a business, and attach some social proof and credibility to your email. Back up your claims, show proof. The next, right, this is something that everyone misses, is actually highlighting a solvable opportunity, a low hanging fruit, something that you're going to go and attack straight away, something that the business can implement to get a result. Okay, now maybe this is a new headline, maybe this is a new sequence, maybe this is a fresh angle or a new automation. Whatever it is, get clear, right? And the way you do this is have a good qualification process so that when you're adding someone to your prospecting list, you've got a whole page of ammo of solvable opportunities that you can drop in a Loom, on a Google Doc, or in the email itself. Okay, if you're just skipping that and you're adding people to your prospecting list and you're blasting emails to them, then that's the issue. It's not the email, it's not your prospects, it's not any of that. It's the fact you're just doing it to tick it off the list and not doing it properly. Email outreach is so simple when you just stick to the fundamentals and actually do it with the intention of helping someone's business. Okay, now the next thing is you need to have a clear offer or clear next steps. So whether that is, here's the offer, I do X, Y, and Z for this price, rah, or whether that's, look, if you want to talk about this further on a quick 15-minute no pressure chat, here's my Calendly, or what time works for you, or I usually do a discovery project, or let's jump on a Zoom call. Just give them clear steps of what to do next, because if you give them good value, you've got their attention, it's personalized, but then you just leave them hanging, then no wonder you're not getting calls booked. No wonder you're not moving projects forward. People are busy. People have a lot of stuff on their plate. So actively be the leader to lead this relationship and move it towards the direction of a conversion event, for example, a call. Okay. Now, the last fundamental is urgency, because you got to remember, like I said, people are busy, right? People have a bunch of shit going on. They might not even be in the buying window right now. So if you've highlighted a good solvable opportunity and you've shown them why it's, impacting their business and all of this stuff, then you need to give them a reason to act right now. Because if you don't, you're going to lose this lead, and all of that hard work has been for nothing. So what is the opportunity? What do they gain from this? What's the outcome? Or what's the threat? How's this going to impact their business today? How's this going to impact their business next week? How's this going to impact their business, next month, next year, 6 months down the line, whatever, We want to show them the onset effect. We want to show them exactly why they need to act now. Okay, now, essentially, I've got a success criteria here for you. Feel free to screenshot, feel free to, whatever you need to do to basically keep this in top of mind and use this for your own email, do it now. But I'm going to run through it quickly. So you need to have a personalized, it needs to be personalized for one prospect. You need to include social proof. You need to highlight a solvable opportunity. You need to give them free value to help them solve that opportunity. And you need to give them a reason to solve this now. A bonus is adopting a partner frame so that you're actually acting like you're already working with each other and going above and beyond to deliver great results. Having upfront value so they can do that straight away, and being super creative. Don't be afraid to break the rules. Now, there's a few things that you need to pull this together to get optimal results that are outside the email itself. Everything we've just covered is how to write an email, but obviously there's a few things to make that email land in the inbox, for track your data. And so I recommend everyone has a outreach dashboard, a business dashboard, where you can see how many prospects you're collecting, how many emails you're sending, how many are getting opened, how many are getting clicked, how many of those clicks are converting to calls, how many calls are converting to closes. You want visibility on all of that so that we can identify bottlenecks and fix them. Now, none of that matters if you're not landing in the inbox though. So I really recommend you go get your DNS record straight, your SPF, your DKIM, your DMARC, and just get an email warming tool. They're like $12 a month, and they're going to warm your domain and they're going to send emails for you so that Google sees you as a normal inbox, not as some copywriter spamming people trying to make money, right? And obviously you need the tech set up before you need it. So get multiple inboxes, get multiple domains, get your Zoom account, and don't have a free one. Pay the money for a proper one so that you can have an hour-long conversation with someone and not get cut off in 45 minutes. If you want me to work with you to write this email, to build the system, to give you the dashboard that I give my personal copywriting clients, then click the link in the description and let's book in a quick 15-minute no pressure call so that we can see if this is going to make sense for both of us, if I can actually get you the results and get you to the point that I'm at now, right? If you want to be living that copywriter lifestyle, making 10 to 25 grand a month, traveling the world, enjoying yourself, then just click the link in that description. There's no risk either way. It's no pressure, and let's see how we can get this system rolling for you. If not though, check out the testimonials while you're down there. Hit like and hit subscribe, because I'm going to be doing more videos just like this so that you can take them, action it, and go make yourself a bunch of money. But take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.